Hi, my name is Gaurav, and I'm the founder of Polka Pop Sparkling Water. We're India's first homegrown flavored sparkling water company. Now, innovating, keeping the customers' demands in mind is, I think, more than easy or difficult. It's a very fun process. It's a very iterative process. We go back and forth. We start with understanding what we think the customers' demands are. In this case, we believe there was a gap in the market as far as fizzy drinks were concerned because everything was sugary or used artificial sweeteners, and on the other hand, there was a fundamental shift in the way consumers' behaviors were changing. People were becoming very conscious about what they ate, what they put inside their body, and the pandemic also brought in an heightened sense of awareness among people with regards to health, wellness, and lifestyle. So what we did was, so for us, the process, like I said, was iterative. So we spoke to customers, we got their feedback, we understood what they were doing in the marketplace, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And we understood that people were weaning off, say, sugary drinks. And that's when we realized that, there is a gap. And we also knew that this is a product and a category that has worked really well in the West. In fact, it's a huge category, flavored sparkling water in the West. And seeing that gap here and also validating those with our customers is how we came to starting Polka Pop. When we talk about also reaching out to the customers, one of the first things that we did was, and this took us a little bit of time, was understanding where exactly do we want to position ourselves, right? Because this is a new category for the Indian market, so it's not like anything like this existed before. And while the adoption in the West is really large, so a lot of people drink it instead of water. We know that this is a new category, and so we can't introduce it as a substitute to water in India. Right? The audience it's very different. It's much larger. So one of the first things we did is, one, we identified that this was a lifestyle product. This was not necessarily a water product. It was more a fizzy drink, right? So we decided to position it for the 25 to 45, sort of the young earning population. And this is the population that is actively taking taking a couple of steps towards improving their own health. Like, this is the audience that says, okay, fine, I want to make a difference in my life. I want to make the right decisions. And so we started with targeting that educated 25 to 45-year-old population, and saying that, this is the right product for you. And we very, very intentionally positioned it as a lifestyle drink. We didn't want to add additional nutrients into the product, for the main reason that we wanted people to drink it as they would drink any other traditional soft drink in the market, whether they have it with their food, whether they mix it with their alcohol. Like, I'm sure if I give you a vitamin fizzy water, you're not going to say, okay, this is going to go great with gin. You're not going to have a vitamin water with gin. It kind of just doesn't feel right, because it's not lifestyle, then it becomes functional, right? So our couple of important decisions were, we identified the customer, we identified that this was a lifestyle positioning, and we made the product like that. And secondly, we said we will compete against the fizzy drink market versus the water market, because the water market is very different, and requires a very different strategy than the fizzy drink. And we believe that functionally we do what a fizzy drink does today versus what a water does. Maybe in the future, water, we might be more of a water, but today that's how we did. And so that's kind of how we got started. And as we are going, I think the clarity that has come over the last few months, to answer your question about what's next, is to double down on that positioning and be very clear. One is, we are your replacement to any and all diet sodas that you find on the market, because we don't use sweeteners of any kind, we don't have any sugar, we don't have any calories. And secondly, for people who do enjoy the occasional drink, we are the perfect replacement to all your mixer drinks, be it your tonic waters, be it your other mixers, again, because we don't use sugar, sweeteners, or calories. So you get the flavor, you get the fizz, but you don't get the hangovers, you don't get the sugar, you don't get the calories. So that's the clarity, and these are the two kind of pieces of positioning we'll be focusing on. So when we talk about fulfillment, one of the first things I want to qualify is, we are talking about last mile fulfillment, which means that if you order from my website or Amazon or any other third party marketplace, how do I get the product to you at your doorstep? Right? Let's talk about that first, because fulfillment itself can have multiple sort of ways. We can talk about Swiggy, Instamart. How do we get it to Swiggy's warehouse? But to get to the customer warehouse, you're right. I think couple of things is, one, the customer wants the product on time. Second, they almost don't want to, they never want to pay for delivery, right? And that, actually, this is one of the biggest challenges for us, because our product, one, is a low value product compared to, say, anything else you find, like in any other category. If you look at electronics or clothes or whatever, the value of the product is significantly lower compared to that, but the weight is significantly higher, right? Our 24 pack is approximately 9 to 10 kilos, which is a significantly high weight. And so fulfillment and logistics actually becomes a very important role for us. So one is we try and ensure that our dispatches happen on time. So if somebody places an order today, within 24 to 30 hours, the order has left our warehouse. So we do tie up with third party warehousing as well. So we do have a fulfillment center in Bombay run by Picker. And they do our entire fulfillment and logistics for us from the warehousing perspective. And then we tie up with third party aggregators for the last mile after that. So we then tie up with their sort of invent for warehouse fulfillment software, and through them our orders are routed, and then they're picked up and then are delivered to our customers. So yeah, one is we make sure our dispatches happen on time. Then we also track our orders in transit. We see which orders are running delayed because we know what is the general time to be delivered. So if it's getting dispatched from Mumbai should take 2 days, a Delhi should take maybe 3 or 4 days, a Kolkata should take maybe 6 or 7 days. So we generally have a sense of okay, how much time it should take to deliver. And then if we see that some orders are getting delayed, we follow up and we ensure that they reach the customer. So we do use third party softwares, and that has made it a lot easier for us, because otherwise building it up from scratch would be very difficult. The technology integration also makes that entire piece seamless. So we do use those, but I think there is a little bit of manual intervention required to make sure that the flow is seamless, because there's always going to be breaks in the system. And that's how we end up handling it. I think I would like to say that competition has always been there. Whether it was when we launched also, because we are competing against the fizzy drink sort of mixer market, that competition has always been there. Whether it's your traditional soft drinks, like you said, this fast growing mixer category, I think competition has always been there. And my belief is that competition is good, right? Because at least as far as what we're doing with Polka Pop, which is building sort of a category of flavored sparkling water, what competition does, it allows more players in the market to educate the customer, right? Which means that the cost of educating the customer is spread across these different competitors, which I think is good, especially for a growing category across the country. Competition is good, and we're glad that it is seeing so much more traction, because if it's not, then clearly other people are not seeing the value as well. But the validation is that other people are also seeing the value, and which means that competition is in some way a testament of okay, we are in the right direction. That being said, I think for us, we are focusing on a couple of key pillars, our values, to make sure we stand out from the competition. We have very, very high focus on product quality, product also, and generally clean label as well. Our product is extremely clean. We have essentially two ingredients, right, which is flavored, natural flavors, and carbonated water. We don't use preservatives, no sodium, no sugar, no sweetener. So we maintain product quality, we maintain product cleanliness, we provide the best customer support. We make sure orders are delivered on time, and we follow up and we build a nice relationship with our customer. And that we believe is helping us build our brand. And that's how we differentiate from the rest of the competition, because our focus is entirely on the customer.